Welcome everybody to a discussion with Dave, Blaze, and I'll be here with Claiborne representing the SPS DAO. We're going to be discussing the upcoming Conclave Arcana reward set mechanics. So, without further ado, how are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
I'm great.
Thanks
Yep.
for
I
firing us
said it
up.
first, Blaze.
Yeah,
Did
so
you? All right.
clearly
Well,
Dave is doing better. Dave is doing better
Yes,
than yeah.
I did it. Yeah, so I said it first.
yeah.
So that counts.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you guys all have your Rebellion reward set maxed out because it's coming to a close. I'm missing one Chaos Battle Mage. That's it. So I should be able to pull it off before the new set rolls around the corner here. I don't know if we have dates yet, Dave, but I think 2 weeks. Is that the
Yeah, the
estimated
plan
time?
the plan is for 21st, assuming we have no problem, on the dev side. So we got the system defined, running a tight schedule with all the art and putting the cards together and rolling out the cards and all that kind of stuff. But we think that we should have it by the 21st. I certainly want to give everybody heads up that that's possible. It's also possible it slips another week. So we believe it to be the 21st, but anything can happen in crypto.
Yeah, so the creative team has a deadline of Friday to have all the art ready for us, and then next week we are going to be handing over cards to streamers. And if you want to participate, just shoot me a DM. We have 43 cards up for grabs, so send me a message, and I'll be happy to hand some out for you guys to start showing them off. And yeah, next week we'll start seeing things come to life.
And before that, we actually are going to have next Tuesday, a week from today, we're actually going to have the skins, the Halloween skins. So do you want to go ahead and give a quick heads up on that, Blaze?
Yeah, plenty of teasing for that too. We have the new skins coming into play, and they're really exciting. There's two levels of skins, spooky and haunted, and yeah, we'll be sharing a lot of that stuff as well next week.
All right, cool. Um, all right, I can't see, just to let everybody know, my power went out, so it's out across the board. I had in the parking lot of a library, just to make sure I have internet. So it's very hard to see my screen and my notes. So Blaze, you're gonna have to be the one that kind of like walks us through. But I'm certainly happy to comment on everything.
Yeah, we'll get off right to get go with the disclaimer. Dave made sure we had this in red. Just wanted to get the disclaimer out there. I'm sure everybody has the link to the Medium article. If not, we'll link it here in the chat. But yeah, everything's subject to change in regards to the chest, the cost of the chest, the batch sizes, drop rates, energy cost, glint reward emissions, and anything else that would make sense. So that said, Royal Eagle, Matt, Dave, they've spent a lot of time in the spreadsheets, and it's close if not done. So
Yeah, cool.
yeah, so off the start here, we 43 cards. You guys all know that the regular foils are going to be soulbound with unlock ability, and the gold foils and black foils will be unlocked. So that'll be exciting moments when we land those in chests or through our rewards. Okay, we have the foil behavior here, right here. Soul cards are soulbound and going to be unlockable. Black foils, premium versions, immediately transferable. How to acquire them. You have the glint burn value here, production power, and then also they're not usable in conflicts. Okay, and they don't have production.
Yeah, why don't we just stop and talk about each section? So let's start on the first part. And by the way, I apologize to everybody. You're gonna keep hearing my notifications because I cannot see to change that. So it is what it is, as Clay says.
Dave, I already told him the
Uh-huh.
truth. I told him the truth
But
that you actually sold your house to buy more SPS, and that's why you're working from the parking lot.
That's true.
from his car.
Yeah. So this is driving me nuts because I'm listening to the damn notifications in the background, and I know it's irritating other people. So not much I can do about it, though. I tried.
Can't hear it. You can't hear it much. Don't worry about it.
All right, cool. All right, so let's go start with the red. I can't see it, but I know in there point is that we did our best to try to make sure that these, are both rewarding and last essentially for the distribution of the set. It's very, very lot of moving pieces in terms of the cost of everything, the emissions that we have, the amount that's stored, the fact people can burn, old skins, and get glint, and trying to estimate what every single person is going to do, how many batches they're going to buy. Like there's a lot of different factors that go in. So just right off the bat, I want everybody to understand, like, these are our best. We believe we did it well. We believe we're not going to have to change it. We believe everybody's going to be happy. But if for some reason that's not the case, then we will adjust, right? So that may mean changes in batch sizes. That may mean changes in the price of the chest or the draws. That may mean changing the emission rates. Like anything's possible to change. This is our best foot forward. I think that it's going to be really good, and I think that everybody's going to be really excited, but we'll never know until we start. So I just wanted to make sure that was in big red and that everybody understood, like you can see what our intentions are. And then if it's got to change, it's only going to change because it needed to be changed. It's not for any other ulterior motives. So I just wanted to get that out. You got that, Blaze? Uh-oh. Did I get cut off? So we lost Blaze. His power went out. All right. So
Yeah,
you
my
could
power
hear.
went out for a second. We're good now.
All right. So something's going on in the world here these days. All right. So,
Yeah.
so Blaze, did you hear all that?
Yep.
You
No,
had
yeah,
anything?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. And yeah, moving on.
All right, cool. All right, let's go. I just wanted to make sure I got it was first and foremost that everybody understood. You know, we'll constantly be making changes if we need to, but like I said, I think we did a great job. Quite honest, I've looked at it in a lot of different ways, so I think I think people are gonna be pretty happy about it. All right,
Yeah.
what's
Well,
next?
we have the new unbinding scrolls. If you want to go ahead and talk about that on why you chose this method, because I think you were the brainchild behind the unbinding scrolls. And also, I think you came up with the name of it as well, right?
No, actually, I don't take credit for that. The creative team is much better at stuff like that than me. I've been calling them unlock tokens the whole time. So, in any event, the unbinding scroll is pretty cool. You'll be able to get these. They're going to go by CC, so also known as BCX. Depending on when you came into the game, you may refer to it differently. But basically, it's you get one of these when they drop. So for instance, if you get a common, then it will unlock one unbinding scroll for a common will unlock one card, CC, BCX, whatever you want to call it, of a common. So if you have a particular common that you like, and you get one of these unbinding scrolls, you can now combine it, and boom, there you go. That's now a tradable card. So there's going to be one for commons, there's going to be one for epics, one for rares, and one for legends. And obviously, the ones that are the legends are going to be, more valuable because they'll be able to unlock a legend versus unlock a common. They will be tradable, and they will also be purchasable. So, for instance, let's say you have a card that's combined to 6 copies. Let's say it's a legendary level 3 which is 6 copies. So let's say you only have 4 of these legendary unbinding scrolls, and for some reason you want to trade it to your buddy, or you want to put it on the market and sell. Well, you only have 2 unbinding scrolls. That means you just have to go buy 2 more or craft 2 more. Either way, you can either craft them from land. It will be land resources used. That will be coming shortly before we're done, because we're going to want to price it based on the price of those. But it should be very comparable to the deck cost, which the other way you can do it is you can just, essentially buy them with deck. And the unlock cost or the unbinding scroll cost is 5x whatever the collection power is. So in the case of a common, that's 25 deck. In the case of a legend, that's 2,500 deck, I believe.
Okay. And then we're still dialing in. I think we have it about ready, but the odds for the drops and the loot chests and stuff, we'll have that here soon too.
Yeah, that should be in the fact sheet.
Okay, great. We got that edited.
Yeah. Yeah, so that will be in there. So I'll go ahead and give the numbers. The commons collection power is 5. So the way you figure it, the deck equivalent is 5x that, which is 25. So essentially 25 deck, will be able to unlock it. The rares, it's 20 is the collection power. So it'd be 100 deck equivalent. So it's 5x the deck equivalent. So if you take deck at peg, we're talking about 2.5 cents for a common, 10 cents for a rare, 50 cents for an epic, and $2.50 for a legend. So the cost to unlock has come way down. And not only that, you can win the potions and it costs you nothing. If you're a patient person and you want to, just win the potions, then you can do that and just unlock whatever you want.
Great. We have the table here. All right. See, we still have merits in there. And I know we have a plan in the near future to start with the Gladius packs version, the second set, which is long past due as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that come to life in the near future. But we got to prioritize, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is a pretty big deal because,
Again,
go ahead.
I'm getting some tags, so just like if you guys want to chat in Discord, we're in the town hall chat. It's like I'm
Great.
getting like a bunch of like random ping. It's like hard to do this while streaming. So just like the way I've got this set up over here, like it's hard for me to like actually go in and type and respond to people. So just like that's where we're at. If
That's
you guys
right.
are trying to find it.
Yep.
Are you telling us, Clay, or are you
No,
telling
I'm telling the people that are like tagging me, like you can chat and like YouTube, like I'm watching that chat, and then like I'm like you can chat in the town hall, which will come up on screen, but like I can't respond to like all the random pings and like DMs and stuff, so just like making sure
Okay.
people understand that like it's like normal, it's like a normal town hall or whatever.
All right, that'll work. All right, so back on up a little bit, Blaze, and let's see where we left off. You did the unbinding scrolls. Scroll up. Scroll up. Okay, keep going, keep going. All right, so new ways to get cards. I assumed there was nothing between unbinding scrolls and the new ways to get cards. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yep,
we're
okay.
bouncing around here. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay.
the unlock and then onto the new ways to get cards.
All right, so the new ways to get cards. Make a long story short, there's 5 variations that we have of cards. One is regular foil. The rest are all premium to the regular foil. One is gold, one is black, one is gold arcane, the other is black arcane. The soulbound ones are only the regular foils. They're meant to be played. People that are gamers and always say things like, "Hey, I don't want these cards to be super expensive. You're pricing me out. keep them inexpensive. That's what the regular foils are for. They're intentionally made to be minted on demand, and if people want them, they're gonna do draws, chests, whatever. The ones that are premium, the premium foils, the gold foil, the black foil, the two versions of Arcanes, those four foils are all meant to hold value and to be collectible. So we made some changes. One, that you still can do regular, draws like we had before, but you won't be able to do gold foil draws, just regular foil draws. And when you do the regular foil draws, you can win a gold foil, but the odds are tougher than it's been in the past. So it's not easy to get one, but if you can get one. And then, of course, the other way is through the loot chest. So in the draws, you have a 1% chance of getting a gold foil, and then if you use a potion or use potions, depending on which rarity you do, you can get a gold foil. And if you get that, it's number one, limited, and number two, tradable. There is no unlocking needed for that. Blaze, you want to have any comment on that particular part?
No, just looking forward to participating myself. So
yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Right. So the batch size is going to be the same in the beginning. The cost has gone up, and the reason is because you're getting, better cards, basically. Meaning, not everything is soulbound anymore. So, we have to manage the amounts that are dropped. And if you look at the rarity of these gold foils, the numbers that will be printed, Blaze has got it now highlighted. 5,000 common of each common, 2,000 of each rare, 1,200 of each epic, and 400 of each legendary. That's it. So these should be quite the cool things to unlock. Back in the old days, people used to be really excited when they got a gold foil. We should be making gold foil great again. So this should do it.
Yeah, what's that? 100 max copies for the legendary. That's
Yep.
It's gonna be you're gonna be strutting around with that one if you have that maxed out. So, and that's the fun of it too, right?
Yeah, I mean that's part of the chase. Like the people that want to play and they want those legendaries in regular foil, they'll be able to do legendary, foil draws and and get whatever they need typically. But if they want the gold version, it's not going to be as easy. Right? There's definitely going to be a challenge to getting that. Not everybody's going to be able to get a max gold foil set.
Yeah, it's a good problem. Revamped loot chests.
On the loot
chest, getting the major update with the new drops, tradable gold foils inserted, in addition of unbinding scrolls and fortune draw entries.
Okay. Right. And the glint cost will be higher to reflect the increased value of the items that they get. I'll note it. I'll point out two things that we heard a lot over the years. One, people wanted more cards, so we upped the amount of cards. People wanted less potions, less alchemy and legendary potions. So we're given less potions. We're also given less merits and energy, and we're adding in unbinding scrolls and draw entries for the fortune draws. We'll get to the fortune draw later, but the point is, like, there's actual real value in there that we didn't have before. So these loot chests are definitely going to be beefed up, and yes, their price went up, but also what you get in them is much better.
Cool.
All right, but below, I guess you got the odds of what's in them. So the it's basically just showing. I mean, that's a little wonky. At the end of the day, it boils down to the ultimate chest. You got better chance of getting the bigger stuff, and the relative to the minor and the major. In other words, you can condense that down to everything. Like everybody can look at the numbers. We don't have to necessarily go through that, but you can see, for instance, if you buy an ultimate chest, you're going to get between 3 and 7 common regular foils, for instance, and between 2 and 4 gold foils if they trigger.
Yeah.
On the commons.
Yeah, the 2% ultimate is obviously the chase there. That's where you're getting the better odds.
Right.
Looks good. Okay, here's the quantity of each rarity of the card. Each chest. Unbinding scrolls. All right, for the chests that contain unbinding scrolls, the chances of potions, a potion being each rarity and quantity range that should be given out for each chest type are shown in the table below. So here's the table.
And that's pretty much the same as the cards. So if you buy ultimate chest, you're going to have a greater chance of getting, better stuff. Better scrolls. I mean, better unbinding scrolls. Basically.
Yeah.
Again, it's just odds. Everybody's welcome to look at it and decide which one's the best. I think one thing we haven't done a good job in the past is explaining to people like how that works. And like there's 3 chests: minor, major, and ultimate. They each have different cost. Each person can evaluate which one they think is the best use of their glint. In some cases, people are just going to buy all 3 and then they aren't going to complain, right? But then other people will come back and say, "Oh, the majors were the best ones to buy, not the ultimates, not the minor." And then somebody feels like they made a mistake. And so the answer to that question is they're all 3 good. Just figure out which one you think is best. And sometimes that's based on what your objectives are. Because they're all just different. So, but they're all good. They're all, they all include stuff. But if you value, for instance, legendary and epic unlocks, then, you got a greater chance of getting the unbinding scrolls. You got higher odds of getting an epic or a legend in the ultimate chest.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also people get strategic about what cards they want to go after first. So,
right. Yep.
Okay. The ultimate chase, black foils, and the fortune draw.
All right, so we talked about the gold foils being limited. You can get them in the draws. You can also get them in the chest. We haven't mentioned the black foils or the 2 types of arcanes. Those are all put into a bucket. So every single one of those is pre-minted. The table, I believe, is shown below, and then all those will be put into a bucket and be given out via a raffle, essentially, or a fortune draw. We shouldn't call it a raffle; it's a draw. And there's a whole process for how to get that. But each and every week, there will be X amount of prizes. I forget the exact number. Can you scroll down just a tad? Oh, 76 to 78,
Yeah,
right there. So just like with the Frontier mode, I'm not sure the day of the week, but it'd be a different day than Monday. So maybe it's Friday, let's say. So every Friday, you'll earn however many draws, during that week. And then all those draws will apply to that particular drawing. And 76 to 78 will be given out on every single week, for an entire year, 53 weeks.
That'll be an action-packed year. How long did the rebellion go for? I mean, was that 2 years?
The rebellion.
The rewards. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know when that started. So, Clay, do you know?
Off the top of my head.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's due for new rewards. So I'm really looking forward to the change.
Yeah.
I think I was watching a Bronze Dragon stream, and he was like, I wish they would just switch this up a little bit. I'm getting a little tired of seeing the same cards. So the moment
Yeah,
is coming.
I would say like my rewards have basically been maxed out for like 8 months now. I still needed like one BCX of a legendary for like 3 months after that point, but yeah, I mean I don't know. I've been ready. I can tell you that.
Yeah, but surprisingly, like Commander Slade Gold Foil, I think I only have a few copies. Believe it or not, like after all that time and all that glint dumped in, it was still hard to get that card. So the drop rates were still, still not where everybody has them maxed out. But again, I didn't participate too much in the gold foil rares. I mean, that's probably the way to get that, but we don't have that anymore, right? So you can't go buy yourself a gold foil in this situation.
Like, this ties into something Lady Sharon was asking over in the YouTube chat is whether or not to spend glint on the current set before it goes out of print or to try to save the glint for the next set. And I don't know, like because like from my perspective, like I said, I've basically been maxed out for like about like 8 months on my reward set. Besides like that one BCX I needed. So to me, like the very obvious answer is like if you don't have your cards, then like I would probably try to get them before they're going out of print. Uh, but also, if you would like to save it and hope that like the you do better on the new reward set or that like you find those cards more enjoyable. Ultimately I guess it's kind of up to you, but like the fact that like the choice is going to kind of be made for you, and the fact that some of these cards won't be available anymore unless you go get them off the secondary market. Like that's actually something I've been thinking about is, do I want to go try to get some extra epics? Like, do I want to get some extra Olivias and, stuff like that to, maybe unlock some and save them for like on the market later. I don't know. Like like this is one of the great things about Splinterlands is there's just like layers to it, right? It's kind of like you've got multiple strategies you can employ. But yeah, I would say figure out which one works for you. If you want to guarantee you get the set that's going out of print, then maybe you want to burn your glint. If you want to you know risk it and hope you just have better luck in the next set, that's also a viable strategy. What are you doing, Dave? You got yours maxed out yet?
It depends. I mean, I got my main account. They're all maxed out except for the gold foils. They're not all maxed out. But then I also have many scholar accounts, people that are playing my decks, and they're nowhere near. So I think for those accounts, I'm opting to go ahead and finish best I can. Like if I'm at level 9, for instance, and I can get the level 10, I think I'd rather get the level 10 than stay at level 9. But having said that, you know, uh, if I'm at level 6, then maybe I stay at level 6, kind of thing. So I'm kind of doing it on an account by account basis and looking and see, what makes the most sense for the long term. And in my case, I believe that, you know, some accounts I'd rather have it max because they typically are going to have the next set maxed, and then other ones are kind of a hodgepodge, and level 6 is fine. That makes sense. Oh, yeah, it is. It is a decision that I have to go account by account. So I would imagine every player would have to do the same. They would have to look and see what makes more sense to do. One thing that I also wanted to tell you guys, I just dropped in the main chat the copy of how many of the black foils and the 2 arcanes are in are in the bucket, basically. So everything from a 1 of 1 for the legends. So every single legend has
Dave,
His phone wire is tangled.
Dave, download some. Dave.
His phone wire is tangled, man. Untangle
Is that
cord,
Clay?
please.
Is that Clay's going slow or mine?
That's
It's yours.
Okay, I'm sorry. What did you say then, Clay? I didn't hear
You're
you.
gonna have to move to a parking lot with better internet.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, I'm not sure it's going to be any better. But did you guys see that I put up the what's in the bucket for the draw
Yeah,
challenge?
we see your chart there. Thanks.
Okay, got
A
it.
couple questions there in the town hall, real quick. 1% seems really high. This is from Android. What will the jackpot consist of? If it's max level black foil card, for example, shouldn't it be much lower than 1%?
Okay, when you say 1%, okay, I think that's mixing things. 1% is for a gold foil, not for a black foil. So if you're doing a main draw, a straight draw, it's a 1% chance of getting a gold foil. And if you use a potion or multiple potions in the case of the higher rarities, and you double that odds. So um, if it's 1%, you can make it 2%, for instance. But the black foils and the black foil arcanes and the gold foil arcanes, those all go into a bucket, and those only come via the draws, via the weekly draws. The only way to get those cards is not through chest, not through draws. The only way to get the black foils, black foil arcanes, and the gold foil arcanes is through the weekly draw.
Damn, Dave, they got the scammers popping up in town hall chat trying to, provide support.
We made it.
We're big time now, guys. This is the bull market. Everybody get ready. The scammers are back in full force. They're now trying to snipe our no, they're now trying to snipe our town halls like.
Oh wow! All right, so did I answer that properly? Like I said, I'm a little bit out of my
Yeah,
element.
Mondroid, let us know if that helped out.
What other questions do we have before we keep going? Do you want to catch up, or you want to finish and then come back to questions? I can go
No, we
either
can
way.
finish. Come back. I think what's Zcrom saying there? How high are the current jackpots? What do
How
you mean?
high are the jackpots?
Come
There's
back to that.
76 to 78 cards.
Uh-oh, we got a
Oh,
question.
okay. Yeah, let me. Yeah, that was the other distinction I wanted to make. The jackpot, the jackpot odds are not for the bucket cards. The jackpot, those are still, uh, like we had land in there at one time. Then we had packs in there. That's for that, right? That's for nothing to do with this new set. That's hasn't changed. That will change. We are going to have new cards that will be called jackpot cards that you'll be able to get, but that's at least a month out, maybe two, but probably a month.
Damn, Dave, they're coming in full force now.
But when you say full force, you're talking about in the regular main tavern.
No, I'm just talking about the scammers just keep dropping links in the town hall chat, so we're just we're killing them
Any
quickly.
links?
But
That's all.
like, yeah, it's just like they keep coming. I think they're following Lady Sharon around. But like Vet V, what were you done with that question?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I can
Vet V.
re-ask it if I didn't answer.
Yeah, Vet V says you may have covered this already. Has there been discussion about trading like for like cards with the trustless exchange interface to help with RNG? Um, I'll tell you from my understanding of the way this set's gonna work, Vet V is I don't think that'll be as much of a problem because I don't think it's going to be that difficult to unlock these cards. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Dave? Like, do we need
Yeah,
we need to build a new like system in the game to trade rewards cards? Like, I guess soulbound rewards cards must be what he's asking, right? Because why else? I mean, otherwise you could just trade them. Or unless he's just
I mean,
asking about like a card trading thing, because I know we've talked about that before.
yeah, the part I mean, one, the trustless exchange thing is good, right? So yeah, I'd be thrilled to do that. In terms of like in the past, people were like, like Jimmy, for instance, one of our guildmates, like he got, whatever, 100 of, the double strike
Oh man, the hackers got Dave.
more than the 11. Got me.
Dave's going Mr. Roboto again.
Yeah, Dave, you got to go to
Seriously?
modern or go to wild.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move over to Wendy's. McDonald's ain't cutting.
Oh, seriously? They
Well,
hacked me? Did they hack
No,
me here?
no, you're good. You're good.
We're talking about you turning into a robot, not that. No, no, sorry, bad choice of words.
Oh, okay.
Bad choice.
Yeah, only for that. All right. All right. Yeah. I mean, the, but this actually brings up a point. Like in the past, everybody was like, oh, I got, 30 of this legend and I only need 11 and I got none of the Iziar and I need all 11. So with the unlock potions, you should be able to solve that problem. Like this actually solves that problem because you want Iziar and you have 11 of whatever, Craniacs. I mean, whatever the name of a particular card is. And you just use your 11 unlocks on the one you have extras of and then trade it with somebody who has 11 of the one you do want. And that's just like that. This does solve that problem. I don't know if I explained that clearly,
Yeah.
but the the set doesn't drop in a perfect way, right? Like that's intentional. We don't want the set to drop in a perfect way. We don't want like you to fill up every card exactly to max and then no cards over max, you get and everything gets filled up perfectly. If we did, it would just be more expensive and I mean, I guess we could do it that way, but it would be like what's the fun of that, right? Like the trading aspect, like when you go open a pack of baseball cards and you already have a Mickey Mantle and a Hank Aaron, right? But you need a Willie Mays. If you got an extra Hank Aaron, and Mickey Mantle, then you'll trade somebody for the Willie Mays. I mean, that's just kind of how trading cards work, right? You don't distribute them exactly as you're supposed to get them, but in trading cards, you're able to trade them. Now, with the unlocking potions, you will be able to get a percentage of those unlocked because you're assuming that you participate in the chest to get those potions. And if not, the worst case is they're 5x as opposed to 20x, which is what they were before. So up until this point, they were 20x and they go down to 10x. But, worst case scenario, they start out at 5x. So put it a different way, let's say you don't get that Iziar and you're really frustrated and, man, I've just tried and tried and tried and I don't want to trade any of the existing ones I got. Well, then the Iziar should be roughly $2.50 worth a deck at peg. So if deck is the third off, it's like $1.80. And then if land resources are cheaper, maybe it's even cheaper than that. That's the highest it would be.
Great. Gathering. Since Dave spilled the beans on that, these jackpot cards are separate from the rewards cards, and they will not be soulbound, and they are going to be pretty awesome. So it's kind of like inserts in the collectible world, right? So really looking forward to that. We'll have more info on that soon, but since Dave spilled the beans, might as well just tell everybody now. So that's going to be super fun.
But it's not part of this set. In other words, they're just a separate mechanism, actually called a jackpot card.
Yep. Clay, any more questions over there on YouTube?
Let's see. I think it's mostly just people debating what a 1% is. Some trolling from Bolts. Apparently, Bolts is back and says we need some
Bolts is
dice now.
back.
So, if you'd like to, add dice into the game. Apparently, we're gonna start like rolling snake eyes or something. And yeah, just
I got one here
yeah,
from Gathering.
Marcus. Nothing
Yeah, let
like
me get one
really.
from Gathering while you find. All right. Gathering says, when buying chests, how many legendary alchemy potions are needed? One per chest because we don't know how many cards or what rarity we will get. Dave?
Yes, I believe that's the case. In front of it, so I can't read it, but I believe that's the case. Buying those chests, it's going to ask you how many potions do you want to use, and you don't know whether you're getting commons, epics, red, any of that. So it should be just one per chest.
Got it. Okay, fortune draws. Did we go over this yet?
Nope. Nope, we have not gone over that.
Let's hit that now. So, follow these steps for your chance to win the rarest card in the game. Get your fortune draw pass. And here we go. A pass from a spellbook holder is required to participate. It costs 125 DEC per week, and it grants you entry to the weekly draw. Okay, that's something new.
Yeah, let me explain that. We had in the past, we've had regular foil and gold foil as rewards. So we still have regular foil and gold foil. Nothing changes with that in terms of like this pass kind of thing. So if you don't want to participate in the fortune draw system, you don't have to. It's purely optional. So, if people are like, I don't want to pay 125 deck, you don't have to pay 125 deck. Just don't participate. Because all these cards are brand new cards that have never been given out before. So we tried to do it in a way that made sense for people to do and also properly rewarded, all the different levels, right? Like gave people that are new a chance, but also gave people that have max level decks with a lot of SPS a chance. So all this is put together in a way that it is to, properly distribute those special rare cards. The first part of that is you have to have a spell book. Do it. So the free to play non-spellbook accounts can't win these, so you actually have to buy a spellbook if you want to enter. And you also have to have a fortune draw pass for whatever week that you want to participate. So maybe you want to participate this week and you don't want to participate next week. That's up to you. Like every player can decide whether they want to have a chance at winning these 76 to 78 cards each and every week.
Cool.
And you have up until like an hour before the end of, before the actual drawing to make that decision. So for instance, you could play and you could earn whatever. Let's say you were busy and only earned like 3 draws and you're like, for 3 draws, I don't want to pay 125 deck. You can do that, right? But if you got 50 of them, then you may say, you know what? I got 50 chances of winning one of these cards. I'm going to go ahead and pay the 125 deck. It's up to each person each week to make that decision. The other point I would make is that you will be able to pre-buy these. So if you don't want to go in every week and remember to do it, and you just want to just automatically buy them, you can just buy the whole, buy them all. You can buy all 53 weeks if you want, or 20 weeks, or 25. You can pick however many days you want to do it, how many weeks you want to do it.
Great. Okay. Number 2, earn fortune draw entries. The main method, ranked wins. Win 5 ranked battles, modern or wild, to earn a batch of entries. You can do this up to 3 times per day. Other methods, you can also get entries from loot chests and purchase them in the glint shop, starting at 2,000 glint per fortune draw.
All right, so to explain the main method is pretty simple. just like in Frontier mode, you go play, you win 5, you win, your entries. Right? Like whatever you qualify for, like whatever level of play you are and however much SPS you got staked. Let's say the amount is you could get a max. Let's say you get 6 every time you win 5. You win 5, you get the 6. You get the 6 entries. You win 5 more, you get 6 more entries. You win 5 more, you get 6 more entries. So as long as you claim them, you do have to claim them each day. As long as you claim them, then you will get those based on how many sets of 5 you win. You can do it in modern, and you can also do it in wild. So technically, you can win 3 times per day in modern. And if you want to also go over and play wild, you can also do wild and win 3 times a day over in wild.
Sounds action packed.
Yep. And then in terms of the loot chest that they were listed above, the odds are obviously the minor chests don't have get as many as the ultimate chest, so that's factored in. But if you're buying the loot chest, you are going to get more fortune draws. And if you want to skip all that and you just want to, you don't want to play, you don't really care about playing, but you want to enter the lottery, so to speak, then, get Glint, and you can just use your Glint to get draws. You can do that. And I think the bat size on that is going to be 10. So the first 2,000 will be, the first 10 will be 2,000 per draw, and then they'll go up 50% and thereafter, based on the other ways in which it moves up.
Great. Number 3, it looks like we have some extra utility added to SPS.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, this is something that. Go ahead, Clay. Sorry.
Yeah, great.
I think it's probably better.
Before we go into the SPS, do you want to ask a couple of them?
Yeah, I mean, some of these, like, I don't like questions that come with accusations. I'll just say that, but I'll try to do my best to summarize this. So one from Rudy here is, I know it might not be easy to dial in, but what is the goal for unlocking scrolls? How much cheaper are we trying to make unlocking your cards? Is the goal for them to be about as valuable as the old potions? And there's some commentary about conflict wagons and saying we made them too expensive. And wanting to clarify.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to answer that. I mean, the target is 5x at the high end. So 5x is the high end. And then we'll target land resources that equal roughly 5x, because it's a moving target. Like every single day, you could get a different price. But we'll look at it like right before it goes live, and we'll pick a number, and we'll say this amount of aura or this amount of stone, wood, iron, whatever the formula is. It will be pegged to essentially on day 1. It should be about the same either way. But then as time goes, and yes, if there's more land resources made, and then players want to sell them less than the 5x, they can do so, and then the price of the unlock goes less. So if that's important for people to understand, not only can it go lower, that's fine. It also, people are going to get these in chest and they can sell them too. So let's say Rudy, I guess you said was who gave that. Let's say Rudy just cares about money. He don't care about unlocking his cards or anything, but he just wants the money. So if he gets them, and you could buy them at 5x on from essentially the team, right? Well, he's going to sell his. He ain't going to sell them for more than 5x. So he's going to, if he wants to sell them, he's going to discount them below 5x. So yes, if Rudy wants to sell his potions, he can sell them for 4.5x, for instance, or 4x or 3x, whatever the market will bear. And And that's not a bad thing, by the way. Like if those tokens go down, that just means there's not enough demand for the players to unlock 'em, which is fine. People can they can keep them unlocked. I mean, in other words, only the demand for the cards that people want to trade are going to be factored into that. So you take a soulbound card, you'll add a potion, and that makes an actual real boy, right? Like that's what trades. So that's part of the equation.
I guess the problem is it seems like the problem is like conflicts are too expensive. It sounds like we're making reward cards too cheap, and I guess trying to say like you need to find balance, which I guess it kind of like is what it is. I had a conversation with somebody about the pickle yesterday, right? Because they were messaging me and basically saying
Hold
that
on. Before you go to that, let me just address this. I will address this head on.
okay,
There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions out there. And there's a lot of moving parts, and this is a very complex system. And all the people that come out and just say, well, this is that way and that should be another way, like, good luck. You know, we do our best. And I believe that we do a good job. You may not agree with that. That's fine, right? So that's okay. So, if you think it should be a different price, then definitely don't buy them. If you think they're going to go lower in price and you don't want to buy them, no problem. Don't buy them. Right? Like that's okay. If you think they're cheap and they're going to go up, then you should buy them. Right? And that's how the market works. So I'm tired of people coming in and just saying things like, well, it should be that way. Like it's unbelievable, how many people are like economists and game designers out there. And while I appreciate that everybody has ideas, please just don't come in and just start throwing around negativity for no reason. If you don't like something or it's too expensive, you can make the point, right? Like, hey, have you thought about making them cheaper? Like, sure. Or hey, have you thought about making them more expensive? Sure. Right? We've acknowledged that, like certain things are, have certain effects on people. But for every issue, there's always somebody on one side or the other. Right? Somebody's going to think they're too cheap. Another person's going to think they're too strong. Some people think soulbound reward cards should be, 1x, right? Like literally should just trade for deck burn value. Other people thought 20x was perfectly fine. Right? And then you got a lot of people in between. So it doesn't do any good. It's not constructive at all just to come in and just throw a little hissy fit. Right? Like it didn't happen the way I want, so I'm gonna throw some snarky negative thing out there. All right, sorry,
just to
Clay.
clarify, like I don't want to like assume the intention. It's just kind of like how I read it. It just seems like trying to conflate a problem before there is one, but I don't know. I'll tell you, I had a similar kind of like issue with the pickle yesterday because somebody was like messaging me and talking about the black foil arcanes and how, like one guy is getting like six of them already and, like basically keeping the floor too high so that normal users can't get one. And like my response was, kind of like, like I hear you because like trust me, like I'd like to buy a black foil arcane pickle too, but like, I just like it's not in the cards for me at the moment. But like, I think if you look at like what we did with the pickle, I mean, to me, like this kind of like hits all those points, right? Like basically pretty much anybody can go in and get a get like a regular foil pickle, right? Like I mean they're what like it's 150 deck, right? So like at peg that's what 15 cents. And like right now it's what like 10 cents. And like that was kind of like my point was like it's very cheap to go in and get a regular foil. We had the gold foil arcanes where basically, like anybody could have a chance for very cheap, right? Like I mean, I'm pretty sure like I saw multiple times guys with like 1 to 3 entries were just getting lucky and like sniping the gold foil arcanes. Like I mean, I'm pretty sure Druids got like 4 of them and he was like entering like 2 or 3 entries with like hundreds of entries every time. And yeah, I mean the black foil arcanes are kind of like a special premium item, and just kind of like similar to what we saw with like Heloise, right? Like if somebody wants to try to buy up a lot of them and keep the price high because they think it's worth that, I mean, I don't think we really have any kind of like, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. Like, I don't think there's like any responsibility, but I also think it would be like a major negative to kind of like try to interfere with like market dynamics, right? Like clearly somebody's out there saying these things are worth like, $200 a pop, and if you don't think they are, well, I'm going to buy them for that anyway. And like I don't think going in and saying like, hey, that's not fair. You can't keep paying $200 for these things because we want somebody else to pay less. I mean, like it just doesn't work like that, right? Like I mean, like I could go to, like let's say I go to the gold store right now, and I'm like I want to buy some 1 ounce gold coins, and they're like, okay, well this is gonna be $4,000. I'm gonna say, yeah, well I mean, like I know you're selling them for that, but like realistically, I want to pay only want to pay like 2,000 because I can't really afford that. And like somebody else already bought 1,000 of them for $4,000, so like I think you should sell me one for half price. Yeah, it just doesn't work like that. And I think that we're trying to be conscientious of the fact that there's a lot of different price points, and we're trying to make the game accessible to multiple people. And I think that's kind of something that these like special foils have done, right? Because like you can go out there right now and you can buy regular foil pickles for very cheap, but you're not going to get like the premium black foil arcane for $5. Like it's just like it's not going to happen because somebody out there thinks it's worth more than that. And as long as they do, I think we have to, again, like I think this is part of finding that balance, right? So, I kind of look at the thing with the rewards cards in a very similar way. Like, maybe the regular foil rewards cards are going to be extremely cheap. Maybe the people aren't even going to bother unlocking them, right? Like, I mean, think about how many people don't unlock the current ones. It kind of like is what it is. So I don't really know
Yeah,
like
but
what the
it's good to
solution
know,
is
Clay,
there,
right?
right? Yeah.
No, I mean time is the solution. Just and then also like we'll listen to them, and then maybe we do some more weekly events with just collectible stuff because it seems like they want to participate. So we just need to get some options put together. So I think there's a lot of fun things we can do, and that we are going to do
Yeah,
that will target many audiences, right? High end and low end collectors.
yeah, and I'm going to go back to the point I made earlier in the conversation. Like, we have two really, really strong voiced people, groups of people in the community. One is the gamer type, right? And they're here to play the game. If we make a card and it's a good card, they want that card. If it's expensive, they get mad, right? Because, oh my God, that's expensive. I don't want to keep playing, but I got to have the card, right? Like in their mind, they need the card, right? Because they're playing it. So they don't like it when like a Heloise comes out and it's $1,000 a copy. They don't like that, right? They want something cheap so they can play and compete and be on the top of the leaderboard and stuff like that. The gamer doesn't care about what he cares about is playing the game. He wants as least cost as possible. The collector and the investor types, they want high prices. They want to invest and have the value of the asset go up, not down. So the way this is structured is you have your regular foil, and the regular foil is meant to appeal to the gamer. If these 43 cards that are issued in the reward set, if you want them, you should be able to get them relatively inexpensively, much less than you've been in the past. I'm sorry if it's not as cheap as you want it, but it's a lot better than it was, right? So people are going to be able to get those. If they want to play the game, they're going to be able to play the game, be able to, win some cards and get unlocks and sell the duplicates and be able to use that to buy the other ones. They'll be able to get some gold foils that they can sell to the collectors and the investors and use that money to buy them, to buy the stuff they want. But at the end of the day, this is really, really well balanced. The gamers are going to have the regular foils. They're going to be cheaper. That's by design. We intentionally did it that way. The collectors are going to have their thing, which is the gold foils, the black foils, and both arcanes, and those are not going to be cheap. Those are intentionally going to have more value, and that's okay. That's how it should be. So we're hitting both sides of them. Maybe everybody doesn't fully understand, but that's exactly what we're doing here. It's okay if the regular foils get cheap, and it's okay if the non-regular foils, the premium versions, get expensive. That's kind of how it should work.
There's also another question from Rudy following up about, I guess, your response to Gathering the Magic, asking, are you saying that you burn potions for chest, even if there's no card in them? Or is it going to work like it does now, where you only, like, burn the potion if there's a card in the chest?
I'll get back and answer that question. I don't want to answer it incorrectly, so I'll add it to the fact sheet tomorrow.
Okay, Gathering the Magic asks, can we use fortune tickets to enter the weekly drawing?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Make sure I understand that question. When you say fortune tickets, I'm assuming you're talking about the ones that you're going to be earning in ranked play, not the ones that you earn in frontier mode. They're two separate drawings.
I'm
I
assuming
just
they're
want
asking,
to.
I'm assuming they're asking about the ones you make with land.
Oh no, no, that's a completely separate thing.
Okay. Um, Another question from Rudy. Well, guys, please try to like be concise with your questions, because like it take like trying to read out like paragraphs is just kind of a lot. I don't know if you saw the discussion in Tavern this morning, but could you consider adjusting the deck cost to make it not penalize players who only get a few draws? In my mind, something like a 1 to 5 deck per fortune draw instead of a flat 125 deck. This doesn't.
No, 125 deck is less than a dime.
Okay. Question from Chrome. Are the fortune entries going to be given out in the same quantities no matter the format? I play wild, so it does not bother me, but I can imagine a few more players feel like they deserve to have more entries for renting, owning, such as expensive decks that playing in modern. Um, like, I mean, is there going to be any discrepancy between modern and wild? I guess would be the way I would sum that up.
Oh,
Okay.
they're the same. The wild people have a 2,000 wild pass, and every single person, like if there's an advantage, like let's say a modern person says, all those wild guys, they got an advantage, and they're getting something. They're getting something that I don't have. Well, you can have it because you can also play your account in wild too.
And Rudy, I see your follow-up comment. Look, like again, like this is why I was saying, like I don't want to like assume what you were saying, but like usually, like when somebody asks a question and like they're leading the answer with like basically like their own conclusions, it's not really a question at that point. That's kind of like what I was just trying to say. It's not like a I'm not saying anything is wrong with like you doing that. I'm just explaining that like that's not really a question at that point. It's more like I'm posing a question, but here's my opinion about what you did. And like you know what I'm saying? Like it's less of a question at that point and more like it feels kind of like an accusation than a real question. Let me see. I'm trying to see if anybody else asked one. Because like I said, like a bunch came through like all at once.
That's right. Let's just jump over and finish up the sheet
Yeah,
here to
Clay.
see about.
Yeah, Clay. You can like go through that while we finish up this, and then we'll
Okay,
go back to those.
go for it.
Yeah, no. Going back to the SPS, it being a factor, right? Like staked SPS is important here for the numbers.
Right. So yes. So the way to read the chart, if the example wasn't clear, let me just make sure it's clear. If you're in bronze, you can get 3 entries. You can get a maximum of 3 entries every 5 wins. So if you win 5 and you're at bronze and you have enough SPS staked, you can get 3. Can't get 4, can't get 5, but you can get 3. You're in silver, you can get up to 6. You're in gold, you can get up to 12. And vice versa, all the way up to champion, up to 30. Then you have to go to your SPS stake, and however much SPS stake you have will determine like how many you actually get, right? So if you're in bronze and you have 2,500 staked, you can get one of those 3. So you have a maximum you can get of 3, but if you have 2,500 staked, you only get 1. And you just moved it down, so I can't see the other numbers there, Blaze.
Or
Right?
which number you're saying?
If you have let's say you have 4,200, and you still only get one. If you have 8,300, you still one. You hit 10,000. Now all of a sudden you get two. There's an incentive to go to the next number or the lower number, whichever you want. But again, these are extra. It doesn't affect the amount of SPS you were going to earn anyway. It doesn't affect the amount of glint that you earn. Like everything stays the same. This is literally how many draws you get, and this is just a formula that determines that. So if you're at like 9,800, my guess is you probably go get 200 more, even if you just have to rent it, right? If you're at, 2,600, then probably you're going to stick at one. And again, that's up to each person how much they rent or buy of SPS. Like 100% up to each person. What the thing on the right tells you the legal level you're at, what your maximum capacity is. The number on the left is how much you actually get based on the amount of SPS you have staked. And to go one step further, like somebody asked yesterday, I can go set up a brand new account and stake 5 million and I get as much as the guy in champion. And the answer is no. If you're in bronze, you only get 3. You could have 50 million staked and you're still only going to get 3. You have to be in champion to get 30.
Right on.
For one, I'm very glad to see some more utility coming to SPS.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, most people that I've talked to in the last couple of days, they've been pretty excited about this. I know I'm excited about it. Look at it from my accounts. Like I know every single one of my accounts, I want more SPS. Fortunately, it's cheap to rent, so I'm sure I'll go from being somebody who rents out my extra SPS to somebody who not only uses all of what I got, but I'm probably going to be one of those guys renting it from the market too.
Dave, I'm gonna make a kind of like side comment here. This is like an observation that I've noticed, and like I think like a lot of people, we tend to like, especially like if you spend a lot of time like in Discord or around the community, which surprise I do. It's like you'll probably like often notice that like the negative sentiment gets vocalized a lot more, but then like what I'm usually paying attention to is like what are people doing that aren't talking, right? And I'm gonna let you guys know, like he might hear me, so I gotta be careful. Dude, Brave Tofu is sneaky. Like Brave Tofu has creeped up to like 67 million SPS now. It's like every time I turn around, like Tofu's got more SPS going, right? And like I said, I just watch what people are doing. Like you can see what people are saying, but like I like to watch what people are actually doing. And yeah, man, like all I'm saying is there's people out there making big moves in silence, and I recently hit my 1 million mark. So like, while I think we'd all like price to be higher, I'm personally doing my best to take advantage of price being lower at the moment, and it seems like I'm not alone.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree, and I also think that uh, this is a excellent mechanic for, like you said, for utility of SPS. And again, like some people aren't going to get as much as they want, right? Like they're going to say, for instance, we'll use the bronze guy. I could get 3 because I'm in bronze, but I only have 2,500 SPS. That's not fair. Well, I mean, honestly, it's not big of a deal to go rent some SPS if you're a little short. And for the people that I saw say like, if it goes up above 0.001, it's expensive. I mean, market's going to determine that. Like at one point it was 0.005 and 0.006. So, the price to rent them is comparative to the price of the token. So if the token's cheap, then yes, 0.001 makes sense. But if the price of the token goes up, then the cost to rent it will also go up. That's kind of how it works. So
While I was like, I see Rudy's still here again. Like I wasn't trying to like publicly shame you or anything. I'm just saying, like, whenever people ask questions, like, let's try to keep them concise to where they're a question, and like that's all I was trying to say. So like, it's not like, like I appreciate you being here. Is all I'm saying. Just don't take it the wrong way, preferably. But it's kind of like just more of a statement for everybody. Like if you're asking a question, like let's just try to keep it concise and like not draw our own conclusions, because like we want, like if we're asking Dave a question, or if we're asking like Blaze or even if you guys like want to ask me a question, like I think we can all share our opinions and thoughts, and like, dude, we get it. Like, I would say the three of us are probably more tapped into the community than like, I mean, I don't want to say like anybody in the history of the company, but like, like I mean, Blaze and Dave are both directly employed by the company. They are probably as tapped into the community and the game as I am. And I work for the DAO, but like like we're here, we're in the trenches with you guys every day. Like we get it. Like we know like nothing ever makes anybody 100% happy. But that said, like I do think that you've got three guys that care. We're trying to help find the balance, and we're all very directly working to make the product better, like on a daily basis. Like I can tell you, like Blaze and I spend hours like just trying to like help with card design and stuff, like outside of just doing our regular jobs. I'm pretty sure Dave is probably like the only other vampire I've ever met. Like, if you guys don't know, I don't ever sleep, and apparently Dave doesn't either. But yeah, like in general, like we're all here. We're all trying to do our best to like help everybody get on better footing and make the game just a lot better product overall, make it more attractive to people. And that's generally like what I was just trying to get at. Just like if we're gonna ask a question, it's cool, but like it felt like that was kind of pointed. So like I don't want you to think like I'm just trying to like be a jerk to you or nothing. Like it's not like that, man.
Yeah, in regards to more attractive, I just want to say those Halloween skins that the creative team have spun up are amazing. I think we have 17 characters, and then there's
Dude,
different levels.
I better
So
get a pickle skin.
that's going
Like
to be really
one way
fun
or
too.
another, I'm getting a pickle skin. If I have to like buy it off
Yeah,
somebody or whatever, like I'm getting a pickle skin. I can tell you that.
yeah, there is a pickle skin. There actually is two pickle skins.
There's two
Yeah.
pickle skins.
Yep.
Yep.
Is one like a
There is.
ghastly gherkin?
There's for Halloween skins. There's two variations. One is called Spooky, which is the normal one. Then we have one that's super rare, a variation of that called Haunted, and that is limited to literally just 5 of each. So Clay, you're gonna have to, if you don't happen to get it, you're gonna have to fight to get one of those 5. So you know.
Lewis wants to know if we have to pay for the skins. These are like these are actually earnable with glint or like jackpot prizes and stuff, right, Dave? Like these are just like play to earn skins.
Initially, down the road, it's going to be a lot of different ways to get skins. So, but initially, there's 2 different ways that you're going to be able to get them, and this hopefully goes live a week from today. Um, First way is going to be that they'll be in the glint shop. So the units or what we used to call monsters, basically non-archon, non-summoners, right? Those are purchasable in the glint shop for between 500 and I think it's 20,000, maybe 25,000. 500 for the common, and the legend is like 20,000 or 25,000, and those are glint. All that is glint. And then the archons are going to be put in the ultimate chest, and that haunted version, the really premium version of every card, will also be in the haunted chest. And those will be able to be earned by pulling them out of the ultimate. They come roughly, I think it's 3%. I think is the number we settled. So if you buy, 33 chests, then odds will be that you will average 1 per pull. So you could get either an Archon, which is limited to 100, or the super rare versions that are limited to 5.
Yeah, we're not stopping there. We have all kinds of fun stuff coming over the next 30 days, just back to back. A lot of different things that I don't think a lot of them are even haven't even been brought up. But hopefully we can get that in our next town hall with all kinds of new stuff that we have coming down the
Yeah,
pipeline.
yeah, and that kind of dives into what Clay was talking about. Like, Number one, we have a great community. So if for some reason, like I seem to get frustrated, which I do, which I think everybody does at some point, um, I don't. I mean, the reason I'm even here is because we have such an amazing community, right? So I wouldn't even be here for the last 7 years if we didn't. But from time to time, there are people that come in and they just, they're trying to push a narrative. They just try to push like a certain way of thinking, right? And while that's fine, in the past, I think that they did it because they thought, well, if I'm, the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing. If I say it enough, eventually they're going to want me to shut up, and they're going to do it, right? That don't work. That maybe it worked in the past, but it's not going to work with me. Like if you notice everything we're doing, like people should say things like, "Hey, why do we have these high soulbound unlock costs? That's ridiculous." Well, guess what? Here you go. Here's a whole new reward set, and the only cards that are soulbound are the regular foil. All the other ones aren't soulbound. But at the same token, the ones that even are soulbound are a fraction of what they used to be. In fact, a quarter of what it used to be. So when this set launches, under the last system, you would have paid 20 times the deck cost to unlock it. Now, most worst case scenario, you'll pay 5 times. So even somebody who maybe doesn't have confidence or is not excited, should at least recognize that there are changes that are happening that address the issues that have been issues in the past. Right? They are being addressed. So when somebody comes in, just it's fine if you don't think that difference, right? And it's also fine if you think it's going to go, like it shouldn't be that case, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to manage, I agree that the soulbound unlock costs were too much. That's why this is different. So, in my opinion, most people should be relatively happy the way this works. They're much cheaper to do. You can trade back and forth. You can get the higher value stuff, and the higher value stuff isn't gonna just go, isn't going to be mass produced. The number of cards that are going to be made, gold foil, this set versus the last set is going to be night and day difference. I mean, the number of gold foil commons will be a fraction of what the last set was. So, those are things that, you should at least understand. Like, we are addressing the situation, not just in that, and other things, So, I just want to point that out. That's all.
Zekrom wants to know how excited we are for Christmas and New Year's, and if the Halloween skins mean that there's going to be more seasonal skins to come. Zekrom, we actually
Yeah.
have had seasonal skins for like the last 2 or 3 years. These are just now
Yeah,
we're
but
going to
these are
actually be
more
able to own
legit.
them, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, and also remember with skins, we're going to do this in phases. We're going to make them tradable eventually, but on the first phase, they won't be tradable. Um, yeah, super excited about skins. This is just the beginning. In addition to our holiday seasons, we also have Pretoria holiday seasons that Joey and Nate have. So those could be factored in too. So skins are going to be a part of the game. We're going to do a lot of different cosmetics, and also we're going to be making the battlefield a lot more uh, better looking. Let's just say. So you guys have all seen screenshots of the new arenas, but there's going to be some cool effects, and yeah, looking forward to seeing the progress from Nate and the team in regards to that. So.
And my answer on the skins is, yeah, skins. I think this is just the beginning, right? Like we're gonna find out. Like maybe nobody in the community likes skins. I know I'm excited to get mine. So when they come out, I'm gonna be chasing the ones in the ultimate chest, and I'm gonna be buying the ones in the shop. And like Clay, I'll make sure I have plenty of pickle skins for my pickles too. So, um, you know, definitely, I think skins are a big deal. And if the community responds and likes them, then yeah, we'll do other holidays as well.
Dave, I'm gonna share a little inside baseball here, because like we keep
You
saying
have a few
pickle
pickles.
skins. Well, no, we keep saying pickle skins, and like this reminds me, I don't know if you guys know, but it was a little bit of a struggle to get the pickle card made, and like one of the comments was that we were gonna have to introduce Picklekin to the game, like Picklekin was gonna be a race, and I was like, well, I mean, if we want to go that route, I mean, like I'll help you design a whole army of pickles, like I'm good with it. So it's just like every time I hear pickle skins, I'm thinking Picklekin, and it's like bringing me back to that conversation where I'm thinking like, hey, maybe it's not the worst idea, Dave. Maybe we do need Picklekin in the game. Like maybe we have like gherkins and like big deals, and we get like some kosher pickles. I think we got some options, right?
I think you should put in your application for the creative department. You're a very creative dude. So,
Got him.
yeah. All right. So how are we doing on questions, guys? I mean, I want to try to get as many of them answered as we can. So
I think we got everything covered there, and we'll do more of these. And yeah, in regards to your fact sheet there, we got everything covered for now.
oh, let me also address one other thing on the fact sheet. The fact sheet was put out on Medium, and I know some people were, like noticed. I guess would be probably a good way to say it. And um, we certainly are going to have a regular announcement going out the way we normally do. So that's going to be happening. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but at some point, Blaze is going to put one out the way we normally do. The reason why I wanted to use Medium is because I don't want to limit us
Because
to
large was
any
too
like.
large and small was too small.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we should be on all these platforms, right? Like, we should be reaching out everywhere. That would be like saying we can only communicate on Discord. Please don't put anything out on Twitter, right, or X. I hate myself, but like no, we should be communicating with people on X. We should be communicating on Telegram. You know, all the other platforms. We should do that. And so, you know, this was a good opportunity, to add Medium there. And, in the future, that will be my thing. When it comes to making a boring fact sheet with just the facts without pretty pictures, he forced me to let a pretty picture be in there, but otherwise it's pretty much just the facts, so that everybody can see the facts without it being, salesy, So that'll probably be what my plan is, and at least for a while. So, just let everybody know. No, we haven't been in Hive or Peak Monsters, or PD, whatever.
Dave, I
Go
heard
ahead, I'm sorry.
Blaze. I heard Blaze was actually doing Lear the Dark cosplays on Tumblr now too.
Yeah,
Stop fantasizing,
yeah.
dude. Calm down
Blaze
over
is
there,
out
bro.
all over.
Yeah, but Blaze is definitely a Tumblr guy. If you guys didn't know.
I have no idea what doubling is, dude. Like, is that like a cartwheel or something? But hey, we are. Yeah, I mean, actually, we got to get that PR out. We got work to do.
Yeah,
So,
I'm on GeoCities.
yeah.
I recently got email.
Good stuff. Well, anything else? We got to go put out a press release and do all kinds of fun stuff for Splinterlands. A lot going on behind the scenes too. So, yeah, I'm grateful for
Yeah,
everybody here
and to
that joined us.
sum up, yeah, the reward cards. Going back to that one question, I believe it was Lady Sharon asked. You know, you got a lot of things happening, a lot of things to spend your glen on. Um, so, everybody is going to have a different way of looking at it, right? There is no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you like to do. And also to throw one more thing into the equation, that just so everybody's aware, they are going to have avatars coming up at some point here soon too, and that's also going to be a glint sync. So I think what people are going to come away with, let's say by January, worst case scenario, is I think people are going to say, huh, I really wish I would earn more glint. Like, that's the goal, right? Like, that's what we want. We want people to say, how can I earn more glint? And guess what? The answer to that question is play matches, make SPS, and have good cards, right? And if you do those three things, you're going to earn a lot of glint and you're going to get a lot of stuff. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to.
Dave, or jackpot cards max level or 1 CC?
1 CC. It'll be 1cc, but the odds will be different than what you see in that one section right there.
So it'll be like
In other
getting a
words,
Yabanius.
Yeah, they will be. Well, there'll be 1cc. There'll be everything from commons to legends. The weak ones will be. I mean, the bad draws will be a rare, common, regular foil, right? And then of course the great one will be a black foil, arcane, legendary 101. Right? And then there will be a lot of things in between. And the odds will go up. And when the jackpot cards come in, jackpot cards aren't coming in right now. So make sure, since I'm talking about it, so in this unit of time, I was going to say the jackpots don't happen until we're ready for them. So that's at least a month away. But we'll let everybody know when they're there, and then the odds will change, and the jackpot cards will actually be a little easier to get because you will have a variety in there from from the 101 most expensive, hardest to get, to a regular full common, which will still be a great card. It just not the same as a 101. That's all. And those odds will come out of the potion. And one day people are going to be complaining that we don't give out enough potions, but that'd be a good problem to have. And now we're not there.
Yeah, I mean, I think looks like that's all the questions. Bolts with like a Mexican theme song for Splinterlands vibes. So if you want to go make a Mexican theme song for Splinter vibes, consider that a formal request there, Blaze.
Good.
We do have
We'll get it done.
Glimmermancer. Glimmermancer is a done in Spanish. So I don't know if you noticed.
I only make Picklekin songs.
That's not true. You've done a couple different songs.
Yeah, but I'm really proud of that pickle song. I feel like it is pretty spot on. It's just like it has like big Weird Al vibes. It's very like polka wave. Like I'm digging it.
All right. Well, that's important. So yes. Right. Thanks everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for going through this, mini version. I don't even know what we calling it. It's not a town hall. It's an update or a tutorial or
Fact
a fact
sheet overview. That's it.
There you go. All right. So we'll do more of these in the future. And again, sorry my power went out, but I'm glad I made it through. So thank you guys for all being here.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.
All right. See you guys.
Bonsoir, amigos.